Hello everyone, and welcome to our game of World of Warships. Today's replay is from MrFingers, and he is in the Musashi, the tier 9 Japanese premium battleship. He is on map Northern Lights, in a 3-point domination game, well 4-point domination game mode. There is a carrier, and there is just one destroyer per team, and there is only one enemy raider ship. Now despite that fact, it looks like that Fletcher is already taking some heavy damage here, and he probably should have smoked up. Like, the raider ship, the Kronstadt, is nowhere near him, which means that's not voice detected. The enemy Chungmu has deployed a smoke screen, it looks like, so it's not like the Chungmu has radar. So the Fletcher just... I would say he smoked a little bit too late, because it looks like there is still incoming shells, and down he goes. Now that's a very bad start, because that was the only destroyer. You know what's also bad? The friendly team basically didn't really support this guy. So we saw from the very beginning that Fletcher was making no secret that he was going C. And yet we have MrFingers here, the Ibuki and the Charles Martel are the only ones who were in truly a position to help out. The ships on the left side decided to get even further away from C, and the ships on the right side decided to go to the 9 line, because it's, I guess, where you wanna be. I don't know. I mean, we don't have destroyers to go towards D, so it's not really necessarily important to help support that point. I still think the 9 line is a pretty bad place to be, but hey. They spotted some incoming aircraft, so I guess there is that. Now, meanwhile, MrFingers, well, he wanted to support C, there is nothing he can do now that the destroyer is gone, so he is deciding to join the left flank. There's plenty of enemy ships over there, and a friendly battleship here would certainly help out. The friendly Bismarck is a little bit too aggressive now. I always preach that battleships should be at the front, but that's a little bit too much front there. Like, the Bismarck had only 2 ships as backup, was facing a huge enemy fleet, and... well, I mean, it's a tier 9 battle, so he was mid-tier at least, but you know, there was no way the Bismarck could sustain that much damage for long. And if you get so close without any island cover, then you have no way of retreating. Which is also something to keep in mind. Now, we got an enemy Musashi here, but it's like Musashi guns don't really care about an angled Musashi. So we're getting some nice citadels here. So yeah, overall, like, the friendly team is 2 ships behind, which is not great by any means. But no, they're only 1 ship behind. It looks like the enemy destroyer got taken out, and he was not able to grab a cap. Possibly the Missouri that's radared, I guess. So, and anyway, Missouri did well. The Missouri has radar, so he positioned himself between C and D cap so that he could do something. And that's nice to see. Like, the Musashi also didn't join like the 9 line, but he's now coming this way. Yeah, he stuck around here at the D cap, but there wasn't anything to do, so he is now coming this way to help out. Enemy Musashi going down, and that evens the score. So basically, both teams are quite even right now, and with no destroyers around, it will be hard to actually take capture zones. So we'll see about that. We still have our cruisers here on the 9 line. I'm not sure what they want to do. Do they want to push through this channel into the D cap? They might just get spotted and taken out by all of those battleships. Maybe they're going to chase a Bismarck here, I don't know. Now, meanwhile, MrFingers here got a decent hit on an Atago, and, well, he is the front line here. Let's hope that he can deal with those cruisers. Now, if those cruisers actually push, that puts the Musashi in a good spot. If a cruiser kites away and spams with high explosive on long range, then you are in trouble as a battleship. Because at long ranges you will have a hard time hitting the cruisers, they will have a lot of time to dodge incoming shells, and they'll just burn you down over time. But, you know, if they are getting this close and showing broadside, then things are a lot more favorable for the battleship. Now, unfortunately, both Atagos have torpedoes, and the way they are sailing, I wouldn't be surprised if they are launching torpedoes. And there is just so much broadside to choose from, it's amazing. Like, it's a all-you-can-eat broadside buffet. So we finish off the first Atago. Still leaves the Kronstadt and another one. Carrier is also here to have some fun, but he is getting a little bit intercepted by planes. Now on the bright side, the enemy carrier hasn't dropped on our Musashi here yet. The Musashi's anti-air is really bad. Now he does have the fighter plane with him, so a little bit of anti-air there. Now both cruisers are finally angling. The thing of course is Musashi doesn't care much about angling. Obviously if they show broadside you will get more hit, and that was a very sad result here. Now of course, I mean, if they show broadside you will have a higher chance to hit with more shells. But the Musashi has no trouble overmatching a bow of those enemies. Now that's now he's holding position here. He doesn't want to get broadside to the Kronstadt. The Kronstadt's guns are pretty fearsome and he can easily citadel the Musashi. So if that Kronstadt gets full broadside towards him, that would be bad, especially since the Musashi's turret traverse is so bad. So you only get off one salvo with that, and well, I guess that problem solves itself. But yeah, with the bad turret traverse, like the biggest problem a Musashi or Yamato has, once a ship comes sailing by, you need the turrets in a position in advance, in the right one, and then you get one shot. And once they are past you, there is no way you can keep up with the turrets. And if you miss that opportunity there, then the turrets will not catch up with the enemy. So it looks like this Atago is running away, and there is no reason to chase a kiting cruiser. There is no really benefits of it, and that's where the cruisers have the advantage, right? If they are kiting away from you, then you're in a very bad spot if you try to follow them. On the other side, there is Friedrich just pushing through the sea cap, and that seems like a way better thing to engage. Now the Friedrich is a great brawler, but he is also getting pretty low, and they should be able to sink that Friedrich before he gets close enough. Much of a threat. Now the friendly Musashi here is going down, but the enemy Friedrich should be going down too. Nice hit there. And yeah, the Atago is still here, the Atago is still annoying, but dealing with this Friedrich is more important, and the next salvo should just take care of that. There you go. So overall this game is looking pretty decent right now. It's obviously not won yet, but the friendlies do have finally an advantage. And interestingly enough, no capture point has been taken yet. Well, because there are no destroyers, I suppose. Oh, friendly Missouri on very low health, I suppose he is going down soon. So we have the Lion pushing into, I don't know what. I mean, I assume the Lion is going forward in order to sink that Missouri. I'm not sure how well the cruisers can actually engage the Lion. And yeah, with that Missouri dealt with, that Lion might just be able to get into cover here. Maybe even push into the decap. Who knows? Nagato seems to be coming this way, so does the Atago. So it's possible that the Nagato and the Atago are trying to push in here and maybe catch the Musashi in a crossfire or something. We will have to see. Now, of course, there are still carriers around and planes, so we see the fighters here are meeting each other and might be intercepting each other. Friendly carrier is trying to protect his strikecraft here, I suppose, so is the enemy. So I assume the fighters will just be locked in a fighter duel here, meanwhile the strikecraft might be able to strike on both sides. So here are the torpedo bombers. Now there are additional fighters incoming, it looks like, and they might just be in time to help defend here. The fighter plane here is also up in the air, and the Musashi's anti-air does predictably nothing. So here comes the drop, friendly fighters are there, enemy planes are panicked, it looks like 2 hits. I mean, the Musashi has a pretty decent torpedo belt, so there is that. And what's really good is there was no flooding. This means damage con is still ready, because let's face it, there is an Atago in 8 kilometers, and this Atago has torpedoes and he will most likely use them. Of course, the Atago has to turn quite a bit to launch torpedoes, which, well, shows his broadside, and, well, I mean, with that dispersion, the Atago has nothing to fear, I suppose. So yeah, Atago is trying to get closer. I assume that once he is reasonably close, he might try to turn. And we still have some dive bombers incoming that did nothing. And yeah, now the Aetam probably should have waited after he shot with the turn, but the Aetam survived and now there will be torpedoes in the water. So MrFingers is aware of that, he's trying to turn. Now Musashi hasn't the best turning circle though. Maybe he could have slowed down a little bit more, maybe that would have helped, but well, pretty decent result. He only took one, he has his damage gun ready and the Aetam is gone. Now this of course puts the friendlies in a very nice spot. They have 4 ships to the enemy's 2 ships. And well, how healthy is that Lion? Lion seems to be pretty low, but I mean it's a Lion, right? He might just be printing a new ship any second now. But yeah, overall, not looking too bad. Enemy carrier is obviously also still a threat. But the friendly carrier has shown some initiative in defending the friendly forces, which is always nice to see. It's a very rare thing that a carrier actually uses fighter planes to defend friendlies. But it's always nice when it happens. And that means that the enemy carrier might just have trouble getting any good strikes. So for example, like the Musashi here completely undefended would be very easy to take out with some torp bombers. Then again, I'm also not sure how many planes the enemy Essex has left, so I guess we will find out. Now, I'm not sure where exactly that Lion is going. Like, it might make sense for the Lion to push in here and try to take care of the cruiser. It would make less sense for the Lion to just try to engage the Musashi and the shores at the same time. So basically, what the Lion wants to do is divide and conquer. He wants to go into the... I mean, he should have probably done that a while ago. And take out the cruiser there. Then again, it looks like the Lion is just showing semi-broadside and sitting mostly still. I guess that's also a tactic. Now, of course, he has printed a new ship while he was unspotted. Will that help him? Well, okay. Pretty disappointing salvo, but there is a high caliber, so yay for that. Now, it looks like the Lion might actually be coming this way. Which, I mean, the Lion really should want to engage the 1 ship and not the 2 ships, in my opinion. Like, if he could take out this cruiser, maybe well, he would probably be stopped by the carrier, who knows. But if the Lion would push through D, I think his chances of success would be much higher. Not that his chances are that high to begin with. Then again, I mean, Musashi isn't that healthy, he has run out of heals, the Lion could easily burn this guy down. If he gets some nice citadels with armor piercing, it could potentially sink the cruisers very fast. And there is another overpan. So also carrier is incoming. The Musashi, as said before, doesn't really have much in terms of anti-air, but he does have a fighter plane now in the air, and there is still the shores, so that will help. Enemy Lion takes quite a bit of hit of dive bombers, and I mean the Lion was showing broadside so much he decides to continue with this trend. But this time he gets Citadel instead of overpen, so that didn't work out for him. And well, this basically concludes the match. Now the friendlies have the cap advantage, they have the ship advantage, and there's only 1 enemy Essex left. So I don't bore you with the rest of this match. The Essex basically runs away and the friendlies win the game. So here we are with the results. MrFingers earned himself 2,462 base experience. Pretty nicely done by him. He also achieved a Confederate Dreadnought and a high caliber, scoring 212,000 points of damage, although he narrowly missed the Kraken with only 4 kills. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching this. I found it a very interesting game, and I'll see you guys next time.